please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get to it. We're back with another reaction from Just Pearly Things. I have not seen this clip yet. It's a blind reaction. I just grabbed it and reacted to it. I have seen this lady that's about to start speaking in the purple top with the frizzy hair. I've seen her in bits and pieces of other Pearly clips, and she is about as delusional as they come. But I'm not even sure what they're talking about, so let's get into it.
The amount of labor that women do and that men do.
Yeah, but men make more money statistically, so you could just say the men contribute more.
Yeah, men provide value in other ways.
If a dude's paying my rent, he's not doing shit. Like he's not doing shit around the house.
But women also work.
You know, it's like quiet. His mother girls ain't saying that shit.
So like they're also doing a 9 to 5. Like maybe so like.
But I'm saying statistically, men make more money. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask all your statistics and your percentages, all of that. Where did you find it? Is it in the UK? Is it in the US?
UK and US. There's a little bit of a disparity between the UK and US. Specifically, when it comes to divorce, it's 64% in the UK and it's 80% in the US.
Oh, and that's a disingenuous question that she asked, by the way. When the ladies, I've seen that several times in Mr. Samuels' videos as well, when they ask, well, where do you get your statistic at? It's not that they want to go back and check that they're going to do that much due diligence. They're just trying to deflect and throw a shade of doubt into what you just said, even though they themselves have nothing to back up that doubt with, other than they don't like what you're saying.
Carried out 90%
studies. The government
studies took how many women? 100 women, and then asked them about their life. And
so do you think if you
now she wanted to argue the number, and my man sees this as well.
If you do 3-4 different studies and they all come up to similar conclusions, we can say that it's around 80%, 90% if you're
divorce lawyers, divorce court. We get in the statistics from there, so we can see who's initiating the divorces.
Like someone has to file.
Right, exactly. So when you file for divorce, it goes on record. So it's 80% of women that are filing for divorce.
How would you improve the situation for, like, I feel like you both have like heard, thought about this a lot. Like, what would you say that both men and women can do to improve the situation?
I think a financial abortion should be legal.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, I think that if women have the right to get an abortion, men should be able to get a financial abortion so they can sign off all rights and not pay any child support.
Whoa.
I'd say that's one thing, because
that's the crazy thing. That's not that far-fetched of an idea. Reaction, whoa, is it? It's not that crazy of an idea. The man and a woman are in a sexual relationship, makes it clear up front he's not looking to have a baby. She gets pregnant and says, hey, I'm going to force you to be a father. He played an obvious part. I'm not trying to take away any accountability from that man. That's what happens when you have sex. More importantly, when you have unprotected sex. My whole point is that if a man tells a woman doesn't want to have a child with her and she becomes pregnant and says, oh, I'm going to make you a father, he should be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to have financial abortion. I'm going to sign away my rights because I don't believe you can say a financial abortion from a child and turn around and think you have some rights. No, I'm going to sign over my rights and I'm not responsible for this child whatsoever. And then if you want to raise this child on your own as a single parent, so be it.
The way it is now, like, women are incentivized to get kids off of rich guys. Like, the NBA had to issue a statement saying that women like kept stealing condoms, and I just think that should be illegal. Like, you shouldn't be able to legally do that.
Drake had to put hot sauce in his condom.
Yeah, like, I'd say that's one.
To stop this woman from getting his baby. There are women out there literally incentivized to try and get a rich man's baby.
That was just one story with Drake and one random lady, and it doesn't represent all women in the world.
So I understand that, but I do these interviews all the time. So I'll go on the street, I'll talk to random people on the street, random people in my living room, and I've had so many guys tell me stories of girls doing this to them. Go ahead.
And your guys' opinions favor a certain side. So when you go out on these ventures and you ask people, you know what you're looking for, you know what you can put and edit and post.
Are you saying we're rigging the game now? Is that what you're saying?
No, not rigging the game, but you're looking for something, and that's why you're going out there. So you've got to speak about certain things.
I would say I get more people that disagree, to be honest, when I go out than agree. So I wouldn't say I'm like rigging the game.
Okay.
But if you're gonna have sex with a woman, sorry, am I supposed to say?
She's like, okay, that's all she got to say. Okay.
You can say sex.
Can I say woman?
There is a chance that woman may get pregnant. Like,
so if you have sex with a guy, there's a chance you might get pregnant.
Yeah. That's on you.
So if you get to choose not to be a mother, he should get to choose not to be a father.
Exactly. It's the exact same logic. Look at her face. She's like, yeah, well, but it's the feelings over facts. She knows what was said was just logical. She doesn't like the way it feels.
Responsibility do you think it is for getting pregnant?
It's both of them. It's definitely a
That's
but women have more to risk by getting pregnant. They need to exercise.
Unless it's a situation of grape, you let the man inside. So how is it?
So it's your responsibility if you get pregnant, even though it's
No, I said whose responsibility for it to get pregnant? All of the power is within the woman's hands. You have the right to say yes or no. Once you do say yes or no, you have the right to keep the baby. You have the right to either put the baby up for adoption. You have the right to put the man on child support.
We also have birth control. You can get an IUD. It's like 99.99% effective.
So I'm saying IUDs aren't great though. Birth control isn't great to be.
But I'm saying that's a better option than what men have. You can require the men you sleep with wear a condom. So it's like I'm saying we have all the power when it comes to sex and who gives birth and who picks who is born.
Yeah, nowadays I feel like a woman's really only gonna have a kid if she like really wants to, because there's so many ways for her to prevent that at different stages all throughout.
But I also think if there were more support for women who do want to have children, may not have necessarily found the right man who actually wants to have a child with her, if she was able to get more financial support, then she wouldn't feel like she'd need to trap a man.
More financial support from who? What, does she need to get a higher paying job? I'm confused. And this lady, she's just an excuse maker, man. Like everything is excuse after excuse after excuse. But let's see what she has to say.
But she's not entitled to that.
That's a horrible excuse.
She's not entitled to it.
Are you excusing a girl trying to get a kid off of a rich guy because she doesn't?
I'm not trying to excuse it, but
that's what you're doing.
If
that's what it sounds like.
Childcare is really expensive. Okay, raising a child is really expensive.
Don't have a kid. I'm lost in what she's trying to say.
And it's really hard to do on your own, right?
Yeah,
but
so
if you
get
really
married.
want a child,
you should get married and do it.
Yeah.
But what am I
missing here?
Did you know that before you got?
Then don't have a fucking baby.
Then you need to change your strategy.
Well, I'm saying maybe lower your standards then. If no one other guys you like want to marry you, you're probably shooting too high.
I love just that moment of clarity they have.
Shooting at Victoria's Secret models and they all tell him no, like he'll probably be like, oh, let me adjust.
What if you're like just don't see any men that you like?
Sperm donor.
Yeah.
So
what if you're asexual? You don't have any romantic or sexual interest ever. You just want to live life, have a kid.
Well, isn't that selfish?
That's selfish.
That's selfish, and then you can also just adopt if that's the case. But that's incredibly selfish to purposely bring a child into this world just for companionship. Buy a fucking puppy. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Bring a kid into a situation
it's all
sexual orientation.
It's not selfish.
You don't think children need two parents?
No.
Well, I think they need a community. I don't think they need.
Wow.
But this
is one of the reasons why society's broken, because
fathers aren't respected, man.
Women are actually literally running around thinking that children don't need two parents.
If you're a good enough person, you can teach a child by yourself. I
just read you a bunch of stats showing that children that come from single mothers are statistically at a disadvantage in nearly every category.
That's not necessarily
and then you're going to tell me, oh yeah, it's fine, let's raid a child's body.
If you're like, I think it's equally selfish if a dude does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if a dude wanted to, I don't know, adopt as a single father, like I think that's selfish.
And even if you can, that doesn't necessarily mean you should.
Yeah, like because you're putting what you want above what is best for the kid.
I think if you're adopting a child, whether you're a single person or not, I think that's a really lovely thing to do, because being in the care system is not fun. And if you're a single parent, it's better than having no parent, no one to look after you. You've got care workers in and out.
I think that I agree with her. It's an obvious option. You're gonna take one, you can take something better than nothing, but it shouldn't be a primary goal. And it seems like, especially here in America, it seems like that's the primary option, and having a long-term relationship, get along, marriage, it always seems to be the latter.
The situation is two parents. Would you not agree with that?
I would agree that you need a support system. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be two parents.
They kill me with that shit, man. What they're not going to say is what they really want to say. Fathers aren't respected, and that's why they'll say, oh, they need a community or have two partners. They're never going to say I guarantee you they'll never say the word father. I'm going to throw it out there. I'll be shocked if the word father or dad is actually uttered out of one of these ladies' mouths outside of Sarah or Pearlie. I'm just throw it out there, and I haven't seen this clip yet.
could have 4 parents. You could have cousins and aunties who are older.
Do you think
who,
that's the same as having a mom and a dad in the home?
I've never had both, so I have no idea. I could not compare.
I think if the kid has adults who love them and show that they love them openly and always, then it doesn't matter if it's specifically a man and a woman or 2 parents that raise them. So it's a community.
And I'm listening to him. Purple hasn't said it, and green hasn't said it. Neither one of them have said the word father yet. She said she didn't have them, meaning she didn't have both in the home. She hasn't used the word father yet. Let's see.
Someone that shows love.
So in all the statistics that I read, they never had a father in the home.
There are so many different...
So hang on. They never had a father in the home, okay? It was single. They never had a father. This shows that boys and girls need both their mother and their father.
Yeah, both of them do.
Fully functioning members of society who aren't going to be rapists, who aren't going to be prisoners, who aren't going to be, misfits. But I see, this is one of the things that I can't understand why women would argue for singledom and to raise a child by themselves and then act like it's normal. Like,
bang! It's good!
Preach, bro. And I think this guy's name is Sarah, so I'm gonna need to start following him. I'm a man of logic, man. I see logic, I listen to it.
It's gonna benefit society. It's not gonna benefit society when it comes to prison. It's not gonna benefit society when it comes to crime. So why do it?
I think what you've just said is that you can't be a normal functioning member of society if you were raised by a single mom.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. Some people hear with their feelings. That's not what he said. He said statistically, by the numbers, it says you're at a disadvantage. He never said just because you're from a single mom, you were doomed to the gutters of society. He never stated that. They hear with their feelings and listen to respond, not to understand.
It's not that you can't. It's about probability.
That's not. We're saying
that's
that.
what
We're
I
saying
heard.
that's that. Okay, but just because that's not what he said.
Exactly.
That's not what he said.
Okay.
So what we're saying is it puts you at every statistical disadvantage. So why would you push that in a society?
Yeah.
I don't think, personally, I'm not speaking to everyone else, I'm not pushing it, but if that's your best bet, then...
Yep. It's certain people that just need to sit out of these conversations. And no offense to you, ma'am, whatsoever. I'm not saying anything to disparage this young lady, but certain people, certain conversations are just above your pay grade, and you should not be in those conversations because it doesn't benefit anyone. It's above your pay grade. I was sitting in a room full of the smartest and brightest of this country, speaking on economics, politics, medicine, finances. I would be lost in that room. Why have I been invited here? This is above my pay grade, and I would bow out gracefully. She needs to do the same.
That's all you can do is your best, and if you're doing your best, then what else can you
get married?
Expect someone to do?
Get married. I love her.
There's always a guy that's gonna marry you. Okay. Like, I'm sorry, 1 out of 3 men are either virgins or haven't had sex in the last year. So the issue is just like the guys that girls don't want them. And so I think the solution is getting a guy on your level.
I feel like the thing with the parents.
I think Pearly made a great point at the end that I hadn't even considered when she just said, you can always find a guy to marry you because 1/3 of all men are virgins. And it just made me think, you goddamn right. I had never considered that. Damn near doesn't matter what you bring to the table as a woman. There will be some man who's lonely enough, who's desperate enough to marry you. Get out of the way. I think you had the one lady with the frizzy hair was just someone who she shouldn't have been involved in this conversation, man. Certain things are above certain people's heads. And also you have more women just arguing statistics, not liking the numbers, presented with facts, data, statistics, them understanding that, but not agreeing to it because they feel a certain way or they don't like how it makes them feel. Well, check out Just Pearly Things if you guys haven't already, but don't listen to me. What the hell do I know? I'm the pothead talking on YouTube. Theo Coop, after party in the comments. Do better.